What's up, guys? It's Hoodie, and I'm gonna do a VOD review for you guys of some top level Wigglytuff play while we still have the spectate option. I'm actually gonna try to record a bunch of these so that I can put them out a couple at a time throughout the weeks until we get the actual spectate function back, because I want to have these on backload or on backlog, I should say. And I think that this spectate option for the highly ranked matches are like it's an amazing resource that we have to get better. And I want to look at some Wigglytuff gameplay today. I'm a Masters player with over 500 matches logged in the game so far. I have positive win rates on Cinderace, Lucario, Snorlax, Wigglytuff, and Venusaur, as well as recently, since I am obviously recording this post patch because we're in the spectate function. Also, a pretty high win rate with Charizard as well. And I also played in top level Overwatch, but I don't have any other MOBA experience outside of that. So we're going to. I'm essentially learning along with you guys. I was able to reach Masters, and I am going to try to help you guys do the same. But yeah, let's watch this Wigglytuff gameplay and see how they do. I believe this is Korean. I think we'll watch the Korean Wigglytuff. Yeah, looks like this is. I'm fairly sure that's Korean. I'm pretty bad with my Asian languages. I'm not the smartest when it comes to those, but yeah, should be some very high level gameplay. These are all master. Actually, 3 masters and 2 ultra on this team, and we are still seeing Gengar with the eject button. I think the Gengar is probably going to go jungle. So we probably have like Wigglytuff, Greninja at bot, maybe. I don't know if the Greninja or the Ninetales is going to go bot. Ninetales might actually go bot, because that's what's been happening at a lot of the top level gameplay. But we are going to see Greninja. And we do... so we are seeing him actually steal these A-Poms. Not like steal them, but last hit them. The Greninja's letting him get the last hit on all these, except for that one, I guess. But I usually allow my carry to level up as fast as possible so he can defend me. Obviously, I want to be Wigglytuff. I want to be able to sing. I want to be able to initiate my my team onto the enemy, like during these early game like mob fights. But at the same time, there's no point in me being able to initiate onto the enemy team if my carry isn't at a high enough level to do damage. So you probably want to get him evolved first. But when you see this Wigglytuff is going to be Wigglytuff before the Frogadier is able to do anything, and let's see how aggressively they decide to position over here. The enemy team is kind of doing my strategy where they are still a Wigglytuff, and their Jigglypuff overextended a little bit, which taking all that damage now makes it where either the jungle has to come down, which it looks like he did. I thought I saw. I guess I didn't see it. But it makes so the jungle has to come down because now this Audino is really highly contested. Yeah, there they are. They're in the middle. I don't know. No, that was their jungle actually. I'm sorry. That was the Wigglytuff's jungle. But yeah, now this Audino is really highly contested, and that's a really good snipe right there. The Jigglypuff being out of position is really what caused that, like, at the beginning. I don't know if it was so much the Jigglypuff being out of position as it was the teammate wasn't coming with them. But just taking all that damage and forcing you back onto your tower is really, really rough in that situation. Now the Wigglytuff wants to heal up, and I'm assuming wants to position for bees now. Or did bees already come? I think the Haunter actually stole the bees from everybody, because they're supposed to come at 8:30, so yeah, they stole the bees already. We do finally see Frogadier able to come out now for the Froakie. And I think so far they're winning on levels. Am I able to plus? I haven't messed around with this too much. Am I able to see the levels? I can just do this, but yeah, we have a 4 and a 4 against double 5 from our. Oh, I can actually see down at the bottom. Okay, so it looks like the other team is winning top lane. Actually, kind of hard. They're winning by like 2 levels in top. However, Jungle's going to Haunter, as he now has Hex and is able to impact this game a little bit. I mainly wanted to watch this to see what times these top level Wigglytuffs are initiating with Sing, and like which fights they're using their ults for, because you shouldn't have your ult for the first Dreadnought fight, I wouldn't think. So are you just saving it for second Dreadnought and then Zapdos only, or are you using it at other times? That's a big 30 there, though. And now we're going to see the Dreadnought fight. The Slowbro is not going to rotate, and the Snorlax is in limbo as well. Okay, the Slowbro does actually rotate. It's just a little bit later. I didn't see the recall animation. But it looks like they're just kind of stalling and kind of poking around, trying to get some farm while they wait. But the enemy team is initiating onto the Dreadnought. And if they're not careful, they're going to take this. Yeah, they just kind of let them have it. I don't know what their jungle's doing. This Haunter is in Narnia out here getting his farm and not actually helping them. And now they're going to lose this fight as well. Still no ultimate on for the Wigglytuff yet, I don't believe. I can't actually see that, but I'm pretty sure Wigglytuff gets their ult at level 8. I could be wrong, I guess. But that's going to be another one team fight. And yeah, the Gengar's there now, but it doesn't really matter. The Gengar might even die there. Probably going to see a rotation. The Cinderace already started moving up there, but I'm going to see a rotation to the top. The Wigglytuff goes back to bot. I'm not sure what they're doing down here now. I would immediately rotate the top to try to help your team with the Rotom fight. That's just, again, you're behind a little bit. It just seemed like on that first fight, their timing was just a little bit off. Like the Gengar was not down there helping them, and the Slowbro took a little bit too long, and the Wigglytuff and the Alola Ninetales were just killing an Audino over in the corner, and not actually helping their team. And that's kind of what's going on here too. The Slowbro and the Wigglytuff. I'm not sure why you'd be down here. Scoring on the Skull is not nearly as important as at least getting one of the objectives and winning a team fight up top. Their team up top is 100% going to lose this fight. And the Machamp already getting kind of farmed. The Machamp level 10. Everybody else level 9 except for the Wigglytuff. I don't know why I'm not watching this Wigglytuff. This Wigglytuff seems to be doing the more optimal plays. Let's actually switch over to this guy. Let's actually watch him, because that other Wigglytuff is down there in bot lane by himself just farming. Don't do that. After the first Dreadnought fight, if you're at a higher level, you have to follow your team around. You have to be there to support. And this Wigglytuff already rotating down early, simply just to be in a good position for this fight against Dreadnought, for the second Dreadnought. And even though this Wigglytuff's 2 levels lower than the enemy team's Wigglytuff, it's really doing so much more for his team, because he's like been there initiating. He's like been there setting up kills. He may die here with an overextension, but that ultimate's going to keep him alive and also boost up the Snorlax, as his team was able to. Yeah, and that Sing delayed. I think that was both the enemy Wigglytuff and Alola Ninetales. It like stopped them from being able to get that Dreadnought. So now they're 2 Dreadnoughts up, which is so rough. I mean, look at the levels. Like, yeah, the Gengar has a really high level right now, but Gengar's power creep is not the same as it was pre-patch. He's not really gonna be carrying games late game. So just because he's level 11, and the enemy team's Machamp is even 12, and already positioning himself. Oh, no, I believe he's about to position himself for the Rotom at the top, because since they got that Rotom so early, it's gonna spawn at a pretty reasonable time to. Well, I guess he's going bot just because that's where the majority of his teammates are. So that's a smart thing to do. More than anything, you just got to stay with your teammates. But you want to get this top Rotom. You don't have to get it right away. I would honestly recommend just like kind of poking and just not allowing the other team to get it for a while. But if you can win this Rotom fight anywhere near the 2-minute mark, you're in a really good spot, because the amount of pressure that it puts on winning this Rotom, plus the level advantage that you already have, plus the oncoming Zapdos fight in like a minute, is really, really crucial. But I'm not sure what this Machamp is doing again. I'm going to try to go find. It looks like the Wigglytuff died. Yeah, let's go look at the Cinderace, I guess. Let's go back to Wigglytuff. But that was kind of. I mean, again, this is still early days for the game, so you're going to see a lot of like unorganized play. But I think the Machamp kind of had to be there to help with that fight, because now the Rotom's going to go to the blue team, which. There's still 40 seconds. It's not going to put on the most pressure. If they would have killed it a little bit later, but at the same time, the blue team finally getting an objective is always good. And as far as levels, they're catching up a little bit. Still, that 13 from the Machamp is going to be really hard to deal with. But I think that Machamp would have gotten 13 anyway if he would have just, like, helped them win the team fight for Rotom. He probably would have been in a better spot. Like, his team would have been in a better spot, and he probably would have been around the same level. So, I'd definitely recommend staying with your team. But it looks like there's another Dreadnought fight going on down here. Is that what just happened? Or are they just fighting for the hell of it? I can't tell. Are they? I don't think... Is there a way for me to go back? Is there a way for me to back up? Because I want to... what do I press? Up? No, that's not doing it. I don't think there was a third Dreadnought. I don't think they killed Dreadnought fast enough. X, does that let me pause? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to see the Zapdos fight now. So let's go to the Wigglytuff and see what they're going to do. They're just kind of staying around their Machamp, and that's really what you have to do as like Wigglytuff in these situations, is you literally stay with your carry and make sure they don't die. So he ulted on him to try to keep him alive. He also sung into his ult to try to get more value out of the ult. And he wasn't able to get a kill, so he ran back to defend. He did a recall out there. It's a really close game, even though the score is in the favor of the red team right now. I mean, barely. And this fight is kind of going blue team's side. But that is 2 people down on red and just came off a timer. Now it's a 4v5. Okay, but the Wigglytuff just died. This is a really like kind of helter-skelter style fight right here. This is kind of crazy. Let's see if the Slowbro sets up for an opportunity to be able to take this. It looks like blue team doesn't want to force the Zapdos. Maybe they don't know they're losing. It is a very close game. And that ult's gonna... Yeah, that's a pretty bad ult. Like, not the player. He needed to throw his ult out there. Oh, but the back cap from blue team has now led to an advantage. Is the Lucario going to be able to score up here? I think he will. The Machamp's going to be able to allow him to score. And that's going to be game off of that. The Machamp set his Lucario up for victory. This was... this felt so unorganized. But it was a really close game, and I like the fact that neither team really committed to Zapdos. Because it's like neither team felt like they needed to, right? Like they put pressure on the goals, but they didn't necessarily like necessarily have to do the Zapdos. Like they were at an even game where I think the goal there was to put pressure on the goals, and if your opponent commits to Zapdos, you get to score for free, and then you can come in to try to snipe Zapdos, because even though they were putting pressure on the goals, they still had Greninja in like place to do something. They still had the Slowbro like in place to try to snipe or to stall. They kind of had both covered, right? And the other team was doing kind of vice versa, but it ended up being the red team just a little bit better. But yeah, that's going to be the video for today. Was hoping to get some more gameplay on Wigglytuff initiating fights, but I honestly didn't really see it too much. I'll have to post some gameplay of myself doing that as well. But thank you guys for watching. I'll have a lot more of these top-level VOD reviews as they go on. I just wanted to get a bunch of these out as soon as I can and hopefully help other people get into Masters as well. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.